I wanted a better solution in storing my Brompton. It usually sits at the corner of the house on top of a boot tray to protect the floor. I thought of using the IKEA furniture hack, that is, tweaking the collapsed shelf unit or the it kit cabinet. I came across Wu Wei's Brompton storage video. As you can see, you roll the bike into place instead of lifting it into position. I really like this storage idea. Here's my remix of the design. I don't have a table saw, so I simplified this by using pre-cut 2 feet by 4 feet project panels. I'm going to use 1/2 inch plywood instead of the thicker sizes. As you can see from the cutting diagram, I'm using the full width of the panel, which is shy of 2 feet. I also minimized the amount of cuts and waste material, so this version of the Brompton storage box is going to be bigger than Wu Wei's. I have 2 designs. The left version uses 1 back support and the right uses 2. I went with the single support. Before I begin, I'm going to change to a plywood blade. To make straight cuts, I'm going to use the Craig Rip Cut saw guide. Here I am setting it up. To make accurate cuts, you need to adjust the saw indicator on the rip cut. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to cut the top and bottom parts of the storage case. The width is 14¼ inches. This is the top. It needs to be 12 inches deep, so I'm cutting it to length. The sides are 25 inches tall, however the max limit on the Craig Rip Cut is 24 inches. So for my cut diagram, I'm going to cut the back support next. For the diagonal cut, I'm just using a straight edge. I'm going to use glue and dowels to assemble the storage case. The dowel jig kit I'm using is from Milescraft. For the side panels of the case, I'm going to use 3 dowels for the top and 4 for the bottom. I'm going to drill the corresponding dowel holes for the top and bottom panels of the case. I first need to mark the center point and then use a jig to drill the corresponding holes. I'm working on the bottom panel. Same procedure for the top panel, mark the center, then use a guide to drill the hole. Blew that one out. As you heard from the video, the bit went through the plywood. The stop collar slipped from the drill bit. I'll show you how I fix this later in the video. Here I'm pre-drilling holes for screws that will help clamp the bottom panel to the side panels. I'm going to use 6 total screws, 3 screws per side panel. I'm countersinking the holes so the screws don't scratch the floor. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch roundover bit to smooth the corners of the front part of the storage case. For the glue up, I'm using Tight Bond 2. I'm adding glue to the dowel instead of the dowel hole because it's a tight fit. I'm going to clamp the pieces together with wood screws. For the top panel, I'm going to use gravity to clamp it with the side panels. I'm going to use a total of 6 gallons of water. I didn't cut the back panel to length. I'm going to measure and cut now. I'm going to use pocket screws to mount it to the sides. I'm presetting the screws so it's easier to anchor into place. For placement, I didn't measure. It's somewhere close to the middle. I saved some sawdust throughout the project. I'm going to use this to patch the hole I accidentally made on the top panel. I'm going to make a paste with the sawdust and wood glue. I'm going to apply a couple coats of paint. Here's the finished Brompton storage case. You have to lift the front a little to clear the bottom panel, then simply wheel in your Brompton into position. That little thud is the Brompton hitting the back support. The top panel is wide enough to fit my Brompton Burrow basket bag and my helmet. I've replaced my pedals with a quick release version. Here's the folded pedal positioned roughly so you can see that it does clear the side of the case. Thanks for watching.